You're listening to the Fortnite Community Podcast with your hosts, TwoLoud, TX, and Nolxero.
What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? Thanks so much for coming back around for round 2 this week. And this time, we're talking Battle Royale. We spent a whole episode talking about Save the World in PvE. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Nolxero brought around the Nostradamus knowledge once again, dropping on everybody about survivors and how to level up. So if you have any interest in that, go check that episode out. But hope you guys did enjoy that. Some of you probably like, it put me to sleep. That's way too much information about talking
we geeked
PvE.
out for sure.
So we geeked out a lot. And I've been messing with my Survivor squads ever since. So thank you, Nolxero, for making me sleep even less now. But here we are. PvP, our domain, our world, the place we live daily together, my friend, in Battle Royale. And holy cow, am I so pumped as the updates keep coming out every day. I see the tweets come from the Fortnite game Twitter, and I'm retweeting them, and I'm checking them out. But man, is this not getting better every single week?
Absolutely, man. The PvP, it's funny because like we first started playing, and I was like, dude, it really doesn't need anything else. I mean, base what we started with was fine. It was great. It was good. And they were like, nah, we can do better, and they're doing better. And they just keep coming out with new items. They keep coming up back with reasons to play. They're giving us cosmetics that we want to buy. They're giving us, seasons of, loot, and I don't know. They just keep adding, and I'm like, dude, please don't stop because I love it.
Yeah. So we got the season this past month in November. We got the season, which was really cool. We thought it was going to start over in December, which it kind of has.
Sort of.
So sort of. It's not completely flushed out and reset yet, but it's coming around. I don't know. I think you're what? You're level 56, 57. I'm level 56.
Yeah, about to hit 60-ish.
Yeah, so we're somewhere in there. We've been obviously playing quite a bit. We saw the SMG come out. We've seen the smoke nade come out, and as they keep adding these more and more items, obviously, I think they're going to tweak them. There's going to be things that they can definitely do. I mean, they had the state of development come out for Battle Royale version 3 on the 30th of November. If you guys didn't read that, go check it out. They talk about playing with your friends. They talk about team killing and what they're going to do with that. The new shooting model, which is something we're going to touch base on. Inventory remapping, post-match stats, map updates, cosmetics, audio changes, ongoing work that they have. I mean, it is crazy, dude. I mean, they didn't just drop an update and go, hey, we're doing these few things. Like, they gave us, hey, this is what we're working on. This is the development for the coming months, and this is what you guys can be excited about. And that transparency to me, David, is another thing that gets me super excited about this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, and I'm not trying to throw shade when I say this at all, okay? But it's not like with Bungie or other developers that we've, played games where it's like, hey, where they try to come out and they try to be honest, they try to be forthcoming, like, hey, these are the things we're working on, here's the things. These guys are coming out and they're like, oh, by the way, this is coming out next week. This is coming out next month. This is, this is the next thing, and this is the next thing, and this is the next thing. Like, as a fan, we're hardly ever sitting there going like, I wonder when they're going to say something. I wonder what's next. I don't have time to even ask that question because I load up my console and say, oh, launchpad. Oh, bush. Oh, smoke grenade. Oh, silence SMG. Oh, this. And it's like, oh my God.
Well, it actually started when the launchpad, I think it was the launchpad came out. Yeah, it was. It was the bush. Yeah, that's right. And it was like, hey, launchpad's coming. We got a launchpad. The next thing you know, like it says, hey, this is here. And by the way, this is the next item coming, right? And it was really cool. And like in the state of development that they released on the 30th, they end it this way. Our goal is to be transparent and accountable. We spend a lot of time reading your comments and posts. So please let us know when we are not living up to our goal. So like, I wanted to start with that because I want to say there is so much coming to this game. If you are a fan, if you love Fortnite, even a little bit, even a fraction as much as we do, man, stick around because this game's going to keep getting better. They're going to keep balancing. If you have a problem with something in the game, which there are some things we definitely say that they can fix, and we're going to mention those, But man, are they not on top of it and reaching out to the community?
Already a good game, and they just want to make it better.
Yep, they just want to keep making it better, which is very very exciting. One of the things that I did mention was the new shooting model, right? And they're internally play testing an overhaul in the shooting model to remove random bullet spread while aiming down sights. I just stopped there because we have talked about this so much while we're playing. But like the spray on the ARs, right? Like you get somebody, and tip for everybody out there: if you're not kneeling or crouching while you're shooting, you're doing it wrong. You should probably be crouching if you're shooting with an AR, not with a shotgun, of course. Don't walk around crouching with a shotgun shooting it, but with the ARs for sure. It does increase your aim from what everybody can tell. But
Absolutely does. You can actually see the crosshairs zoom in a little bit
yeah,
and actually get tighter. The
But-
problem is,
yeah. I mean, the problem is like the other day. I mean, we're playing, and this happens to us actually quite often right now. Is like, you're shooting somebody, you got the drop on them, you've hit them once or twice, and all of a sudden they turn around and hit you in the head with a white AR.
yeah, they might do that, or because there is a level of RNG currently in the shooting mechanic, you will have times where you're like a god and you can't miss a shot. And then you're going to have times where you can't hit the broadside of a barn because it just doesn't matter. It's the RNG's against you, and that person's going to win. That feels bad. Okay, like I know what they're trying here. They don't want to mess. They say that they don't want to mess with the flow of combat, the engage distances. They don't want to mess with what's already working so well. They don't want to mess up the fact that people build whenever they start getting shot at. They want those opportunities to still do that and not have people just going down as soon as they get shot.
Right.
But it's incredibly frustrating because you get to a point where it's like it sometimes doesn't feel like it mattered how good I may or may not be. I was going to lose that fight no matter what. And I've had it work in my favor too. I've had times where I'm like, dude, that dude should have killed me. And I dance on him and I'm like, oh, that dude sucks. Because I turned on him and I killed him. He was probably dealing with the RNG that I dealt with last round that killed me.
Well, for instance, last Friday night, I mean, we played hours and kept running into it. It's like RNG gods were against us last Friday.
Yeah.
Well, they're working on it. So if that has been one of your agitated things, one of the things
And they say it looks promising.
Yeah.
What the new model looks like.
In fact, they say they're shooting har to provide a test client and servers for you to provide feedback to them. So I look forward to obviously doing that sometime in December, I think is what they mentioned on that. If you're on console, one of the big things is the inventory remap system. We talked about this last week with the controller and what we thought could be the fixes with adding left and right on the directional pad to the 4th and 5th block on your hot bar down below, so that those last two items on the hot bar could be programmable to your buttons. Guys, let us know, by the way, what you think about that at all.
We're going to make a picture.
Yeah, we're going to make a picture. We'll tweet it
make
out
one.
so you guys can see that, what we're talking about in case you're a little confused. But they're working on inventory remap system on a big rework, it says, for the current inventory. The new interface is cleaner, and many of the inventory management tasks are easier to perform. So, like for instance, now how I typically like to line it up on my inventory on PS4 is I like to have my sniper or my long scoped item as my first box on my hotbar, and then I typically like to have my AR and then my shotgun, because that's typically the order in which I will engage, right? And then typically I'll have like smoke nades or regular grenades or my launcher and that next one, and then my heals on my last box of my hotbar. So that's typically how I do it, because the flow of a fight typically goes, hey, we see somebody, hey, we try to snipe them, hey, they're getting closer, we're going to use our AR, hey, now we're running up on them and we're going to use our shotgun, right? So that's why I keep that order right now. Yeah, now we're going to heal if the fight's over because we killed them. Right. So yeah, that I am really interested to see how they're going to do that. They did say additionally they were rearranging the quick bar with a controller is now simpler. So I'm really interested to see that. I guess they're calling it quick bar. I'm calling it the hot bar. Either way, that's what it is.
Yeah, the same thing.
One thing I'm super excited about: post-match stats, bro. So they are going to be breaking this down big time. We see eliminations, assists, revives, accuracy, hit, critical hit, distance traveled. I mean, I want to see how far we run a night in this game.
So we set world records in our running because me and Troy get 2 spawns. Either we're in the dead center of the circle or we're on the opposite side of the map.
Yep.
And 90% of the time, we're on the complete opposite side of the map. We do a lot of running.
So yeah, I mean it's going to be interesting to see some of those stats. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it'd be nice to see those stats because, like, the victories sometimes are really heart pounding. Sometimes there's very few victories that, and more so, I feel like there's less victories where it's like, oh, that was anticlimactic. Oh, that was okay. I mean, we won.
Well, I will tell you, like, especially if you're in squads or a duo and you die and you have like 2 kills and you guys win the match and your buddy's got 8 kills, it's kind of depressing because, like, oh, okay, I don't mean, I guess I didn't do too much, but it'd be really cool to see like assist, right? Or how many times you revive
I would really like to see assist because I've had games, especially in squads, where I've done considerable amounts of damage to people. I just didn't get the kill. Like I've had, typically I have the sniper. So, sometimes just being the fact that being a sniper is, putting in shots, not necessarily always getting the down. Not everybody's a snipe god like, some of the people out there. But
if they have a assist leaderboard, you know who's going to be at the top, right?
Kyle will be there.
Kyle, yes. So for all you guys out there, we have a buddy that plays with us. We call him Kyle the Assist ever since we started playing with him in other games, and he is once again our assist master in this game. No questions asked. Speak about though area traveled. There's a new area that you can travel through. It's going to be the new city POI. That they.
Oh, that's just saying that's a new
point of interest. Yeah, the new point of interest map. And it's going to be really interesting to see this. It's kind of like more of a metropolis city, right? Buildings with 4 or 5 levels. It looks like. I bet you there's going to be a lot of killing inside these buildings.
Absolutely.
And I hope what they do with this is they put some like high loot in this area to really make it somewhere that's contested a lot. Because I think
there's probably going to be just a good chest ratio over there.
Yeah.
Right. That's why people go into like major cities and they look for like outskirts spots. Is they're looking for areas that have, especially in like people that are having issues winning. They'll go into spots that are low travel as far as how many people come through there most of the time.
Right.
And high reward as far as how many chests actually have the potential to spawn in that area.
So one of the other things they're going to do is cosmetics. The umbrella side, it says our initial version of the gliders focused on textured changes, repaints. The next step is adding more unique detail while still preserving the original mesh. So it's going to be really cool to see this.
Flare. I want to see flare. Like, I want glitter. Purple glitter as I'm falling down, following me. Like a fairy. Or fire, like just like a fireball coming down to the ground.
So I would really like to see, and they say umbrellas aside, but please give us some umbrellas, man. Like, give me some umbrella skins. I don't mind the gliders. I really like my multicolored glider that I have right now. But man, I really want some stuff for my umbrellas, right? Because like we win these matches, we've won, and I like it to be out there that we've won, and it's fun to show off things that you earn in game and you get. But I would really like to say, like, number one, give us some umbrellas that we can, change up, right? We can buy, or skins we can put on our umbrellas. The second thing is, dude, why don't they have like tiered umbrella, rewards?
I thought this too because like when we first started playing, getting an umbrella was the reason to play.
Right.
Right. Like it was like, dude, besides it being a fun game, like. We want an umbrella. And then once we got good enough to win more consistently, it was like, okay, we've got the umbrella. We're winning consistently. So what's next for us winners? For us winner chicken dinners.
And we thought that the season was going to be that, right? Like the season rewards.
Mm-hmm. And then that was kind of flat. I mean, you get more XP the better you do in there, but I mean, we kind of went into this, but we touch it is like, okay, I hit a certain level and I get you allow me to purchase something from your store.
Yeah.
It just feels like, come on, man. Like, they probably need to have two currencies because the big problem is they probably want to avoid people being able to never buy V-Bucks. Obviously, this game is going to be free to play. It's supposed to release full version next year, meaning that Save the World and everything will be free to play, right?
Right.
Nobody will have to pay to get in. So, being that that's the case, they do want to have a monetization model in place so they can actually make money on the free to play game, which is fine. I'm okay with that. But it's like you're gonna have to do two currencies like every other game does because the thing is they're trying to limit how many. Like I know it has to be one of the core reasons that they're not handing out V-Bucks to people that win matches because they don't want to give somebody 5,000 V-Bucks in a month and be like, well, this dude wins all the time. He has 5,000 V-Bucks, and given that's not going to be everybody, but I don't know how many matches are completed on a you know every 30 minutes. I have no idea. But every 30 minutes, there's a winner for sure.
Right.
And there's probably thousands of winners. So every 30 minutes, they're going to be handing out that many V-Bucks? Probably not. But if they had a second currency, they could say, here's the second currency. This is, a PvP currency, so to speak. And you can use this on skins and gliders and maybe like graphical things behind your character whenever you're flying down from the bus because obviously you don't want like flames behind your character when you're running across the field, but it would be cool to have like when you're flying down on your glider. Maybe not so much if you had a jump pad.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, obviously those are the things they got to weigh and think about when they're thinking about cosmetics. They do
Well, I think
say,
it's up to the player. I mean, you can always be the guy that says, "Hey, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna jump on the jump pad. I'm gonna have a flaming ball of fire from my glider, and you're gonna watch this thing land by you and then kill you."
dude, how awesome would it be if it was like smoke? You could just like go in a circle as you're gliding, and smoke would cover you, so they wouldn't know where you were landing.
That'd be cool, but they can't give tactical advantages to
That's true.
items like that.
In regards to the season store, they did say that they're significantly evolving the concept of the season store. The next season will combine a single purchase pass system containing tons of loot that can be acquired as you play and complete quests. We're also
Yes, thank you.
adding free seasonal loot that can be earned by
Yes, thank
just
you.
playing. So
Thank you on both ends. I'm gonna have to buy stuff. I would like a opportunity for the seasons. Just for the seasons, I'd like to be able to say, "Hey, I bought the season thing. I want, whatever I earned in this season. I also want to earn some free stuff
yeah,
because I should. Like, the umbrella wasn't enough. The game is fun enough. As far as PvP goes, I absolutely enjoy this PvP. I don't want to play anything else. When you're on, we play this nonstop.
Yep.
I would like a little bit more reason to play solos. I don't particularly care to play solos by myself, but this would help, is because there'd actually be a reward.
So one of my things about solos is I'm with you. I had a hard time kind of getting into it per se because I love playing duos so much in squads. But I will say that I've been playing solos whenever the few times you're not on when I'm on, and it really does help you have a different, I guess, outlook and learn some things that you don't learn. Maybe playing duos and maybe it could make you a little bit stronger as far as a player goes. I think it's a lot of fun to get in there and be able to react really quickly, right, to multiple people coming at you. I haven't won a solo, just so everybody does know. I got like 40 wins in duos and about the same or more in squads. But and I haven't played that many solos, but it is a different beast for sure. I'll tell you that. It is way different beast.
I think when it comes down to mechanics, you can learn a lot about mechanics there, as far as like jumping around with your shotgun, what kind of things you can pull off and how, engagements, different ways to engage, stuff like that. But the problem is if you go into duos or squads with a solo perspective, I'm not saying this is 100% because there's definitely people on YouTube that prove this wrong 9 times out of 10. But if you're playing with your squads, if you're playing with your duos, playing the solo mentality will separate you a lot, and it'll also typically put your team in a bad position
Yeah, it
because
can for sure.
you have to be kind of like super twitchy, and I'm already twitchy enough in duos and squads.
No lie.
Uh,
Captain Rendezvous over here.
yeah, I knew that was gonna come up at some point. Um, so I try to check myself whenever I'm playing in duos more and more. Like, I don't want to put you in a bad position because I make bad plays. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But um, I don't know. I think if you're looking, I think there's things to be said about playing solo across all modes. If you go into duos and you go no fill and you play solo versus duos, if you go into squads and play solo versus squads, no fills, I think you can learn a lot from those situations, right? Like you can learn to engage a team and deal with those situations because that's more vital information. Once you have your mechanics down, way more vital to see how you can stack and how you can actually take down 3 or 4 guys or two, whatever, however
Right.
many are in front of you. As opposed to because in solos, everybody's like squirrel, right? What? And they're gonna shoot, right? As soon as they hear the shots, they're gonna run over there and shoot. They don't have any interference. And that's sometimes what your teammates are, right? Your teammate might get shot, get down. Oh, I'm down. Oh, there's a guy over here on my right, and you're like, maybe throw off your mindset a little bit because you have this guy over here, and you're like, well, what's the play? And you maybe make the wrong decision because of interference. So it's good to see how you can respond to multiple people and deal with their interferences that they're giving each other because they're saying things, and just kind of learn to play outnumbered.
Yeah, I definitely think
That will help
you
out.
can learn something, I think, from
Absolutely.
every count in this game, right? Whether you're playing solo or duos or squads, you can learn something. And going in there and continuing to go, right? And like we said last week, for people that are trying to learn some stuff, like there's no problem to go in and drop in a hot spot, grab a gun, and get to firing, right? I mean, one of the
Yeah,
things that we do when we're having a bad streak, a bad couple games, is we'll just say, hey, no real looting. Let's just grab the first gun you got, get together, and start running after people. And we've had some really fun times and incredible games doing just that. One of the things
absolutely.
that they're going to bring that we're going to be able to play even more with and learn even more about is custom games. Um, and they've already said that this is something they're working on so that they also have tournaments and support the competitive scene of this game, which is really awesome. That this game is still in early access and they're already like, hey, we're doing this.
Right.
We want to support it, and we see the community building around it. So we got that coming on. Obviously, they got some performance visual things going on, and then badges and medals as well. So we want to introduce medals that we can give out during games that highlight amazing plays, like a midair kill with the rocket launcher. So obviously, tons of stuff that they're going on, and I didn't even cover
You know what I want to
everything.
see?
What up?
You know what I'd like to see added? I would love to see a feature added, like League of Legends added this, and it's a really cool feature where they have masteries on their champions. So the more you play a particular champion, the higher your mastery gets, and you can like do this flare over your head that displays your mastery of the character, right? I'd love to see that. Like maybe you earn it because you know how like your banner changes as you level up in seasons. It'd be cool to see as you get more wins, you get a like almost a higher mastery of battle royale and like some little animation that plays over your head. So like one more way to grief people that you kill.
Oh yeah,
I'd love
yeah,
to
yeah.
see that.
Yeah, maybe make one of the buttons your mastery button,
Right, and
right?
it's like
So if you kill
right.
somebody, you can use your mastery button. That'd be cool, like a mastery emote.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I think one of the other cool things would be like, say, on some of these cosmetic things, like your back, right, will have so no matter what skin you get, will have like a bunch of medals on it, or certain medals, like or your highest level medal, right, whatever it is,
Yeah,
displayed on your
absolutely.
actual character, so something like that. I don't know. It's gonna be really cool. They're very
New
creative,
dances
obviously.
would be nice as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. Maybe like you get special dances. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I'd
Um,
like to see some new dances. The first one and the only one in the game right now is fantastic.
yeah.
Is fantastic. I can't wait to see the new dances. They gotta have dances in mind. They have to.
Yep. And there's a lot more guys that they are working on. So definitely make sure you go check out, if you're a Battle Royale fan, the Battle Royale State of Development version 3 that came out on November 30th. And thank you, Epic, for giving us this. I just want to say that because it's amazing. One of the things that I do want to address today is the smoke nades, how we feel about them. They've come out, and we mentioned before, this is one of the items that, was displayed and we were so excited about. But I'm just gonna throw it out there. They're a little underwhelming for me. I was hoping they were gonna maybe be used more. Number one, and number two, create more of a cluster and frustration for the person that you're using them against. But they haven't done that.
I don't see them very often. Like the first couple days. So last week we had a podcast. We were really tired. We had been throwing everything together to get this thing started for y'all. We wanted to get our stuff up and running. So we were a little tired, and there was less synergy. We're obviously trying to correct that this week, and get it back where we're typically at. But we kind of said it in that last podcast, like, hey, we haven't really got a chance to play it. We'll report back next week. And now next week has come, and here we are, and we've played with it. And I'm like, the duration, the biggest thing I think we both agreed on immediately was they don't last very long.
No, they don't last long enough at all.
Very, very short. Like if I throw one, say, in front of me on a balloon, I'm trying to go loot it, and I don't know, 4 character models ahead of me, 5 character models ahead of me. By the time I get to that and then start to loot or to break open the balloon, it'll be gone before I can even break open and get the loot.
Yeah, I had to keep throwing them on top of you as you were opening it to do it.
Yeah, and I was just like, so this defeats the purpose of, like, what one of the biggest reasons to use them, right? One of the biggest reasons, especially in like a final circle, is is being able to throw them onto a point of interest and go to that point of interest, like maybe a kill that someone dropped a sniper or scar or something, rocket launcher that you need to help you finish the match. Well, you have smokes, you throw them on, you go loot that body, so you can't necessarily be shot very easily while doing that. Because building is not a terrible option. Like, it's obviously one of the best options, but this is to kind of, sometimes you kill people in awkward spots and maybe circles come in, just different situations arise where it's like, I don't want to build here, and that's where smoke should fill in. That's where smoke should be an option, where it's like, there should be obviously clear moments when smoke is good.
Right.
And I've found very few things in the community, like jump pad, I was a little underwhelmed with at first, and then I started seeing how people were using it in the community, and we kind of were like, hey, there's some really good ideas here, and we started playing with it more. We're fans of the jump pad now. Overall, everything they've added, we're fans of, and we found good uses for, and we've found its place in the game. But smoke definitely doesn't seem to have it. You throw it, it doesn't last very long. It's not very disorienting for people around you. It just kind of comes out, it fizzles. It's a nice effect as far as like the visibility through smoke. Perfect. It's 100% perfect. It's fantastic. The problem is like, it's not a huge cloud. It doesn't last very long. So what's the point of smoke?
Right. No, I agree with you. I definitely think it needs to last longer. And I wouldn't mind if the cloud was a little bigger too. Maybe not even so much vertically, but more horizontal.
Yeah, because it's really like it's limited. Like if you throw it at the base of a tree, it would cover like a big tree. The bottom of it,
and maybe
right?
maybe a little bit of the sides, but like I think they can make it better per se.
It's underwhelming.
Yeah, so I would like to see that change a little bit, last a little bit longer. So we'll see what their feedback is that they're getting, because obviously their pool of play and what they review is a lot larger than just me and you playing it. And I think what we can say is we haven't seen it getting used very much at all. And most of the time, if it's in a game being used that we've seen, it's been us using it. So I haven't really encountered a spot where we died because somebody smoked us out or whatever the case may be. The other thing is your favorite thing entering a house or entering a door and not being able to get through because another door right next to it is opened or closed.
I have a couple complaints on this one, and this is just if Epic, if you listen, or if someone says, "Hey, Epic, these guys had a great idea." The doors. My biggest complaint on doors is actually when I go into a house and I go to shut the door, so I have an audio cue, a door being opened in the house. Sometimes those doors won't close.
Right.
Or sometimes they close, but they don't go into the door frame, they go into the wall. So there's like no door there whatsoever anymore. I can't even try to shut it anymore. So I would like some reliability to be placed there on the doors. Like, hey, he shut it, it shuts. The other thing is we talked about it a little bit. There's not a lot of places as far as the doors, but in retail, one of the shops has two doors that open up. One opens into a small room and one opens up into the shop. And when both of those doors are open, if you don't shut them, you can't walk through either one of the thresholds. And when that happens, and you then mix that with, they showed their graph for the beginning of the game server lag,
Right.
and you mix it with that, and you mix that with reliability of doors not always opening and shutting the way you want them to. Like I've had some really big disasters in these areas. There's one in Pleasant Park as well. I think there's a few others. I can't name all of them off the top of my head. I'm not sure where all of them are, but there's not a lot of them. There are some though, and when you get stuck in these situations where reliability is not there, the lag is real, and the doors are opened in a way that you can't walk through either threshold, you're basically stuck in this room. You got to beat your way out. And some people are like, "We'll just beat your way out, no big deal." There's times where it is a big deal. There's a time when I'm in a position of like critical, critical game moment, and this is causing an issue for me to be able to do what I need to do to win or overcome the obstacles in front of me.
Yeah, and just to be clear, this is only a few places. This is where when you open one door and you open the other door that's right next to it in a corner of a building in like a garage or whatever, those doors when they open, they're overlapping each other, essentially, making like a T or an X there with their doors because of the fact
T and an X.
T and an X because of how it is. So
TwoLoud and Nolxero.
So yeah,
That's why it's there. So don't remove that. Leave it there. We know now.
Just put our symbol
figured
on
it
them.
out. He broke the mystery. Those are the TwoLoud and Nolxero doors.
Well, before we get out of here, I do want to go over one of our last segments, which is our topics from Reddit. All right, so we have a post here from Aiden R45, and he says, "Please remove sniper aim assist on console." His statement is, it makes sniping on console even more difficult than it should be. How am I supposed to lead my shot if I'm getting locked to where the player currently is? It is a struggle to pull the aim assist away from the player and get a lead. Nolxero, being the sniping man that you have become and continually sniping, if we're in a group, you're getting it first. We're handing it to you. How have you felt about the aim assist on console?
Sometimes I can't agree with this guy more. It's not always, but it's definitely there, man. And when it happens, when it locks in on that aim assist, it's really, really bad. And I actually don't feel like sniper really needs aim.
Right.
Maybe not no aim assist. I don't know. Obviously I don't have an option to take it completely off and see what that's like. But I can tell you, there are times when I'm trying to lead a target and I cannot pull off the character model and lead the shot at all because it's like my aim is locked there. The best way to do it is pull off, like go ahead and de-scope and then rescope. That'd be your best option in that scenario because you're stuck, and unless you have a really high sensitivity on your ADS, you're not getting off them. without breaking the
Right.
scope.
Yeah, well, I'll say I've also experienced this in uh, down but not out situations too, right? They're moving and the way it's stuck to them, and then shoot, and of course I can't lead them as they're crawling. But how
Yeah,
would
and what about opportunities where they're crawling and he can't break the character model that the guy's crawling, and his buddy's behind him? You can't snipe the guy behind him.
yeah?
You're stuck to the crawling dude.
So how about Epic responded to this 5 hours ago? So if you guys are listening to this, we are recording on Monday night, December, what is this, the 5th, I believe it is. And they say this. Epic responds. They say 1.10 should finally address this, leading the sniper, down but not out, etc. on Thursday. So there you have it. On Thursday,
2 days.
this is going to be addressed already. Already taken care of. So once again, Epic.
I love it.
Epic responding in the Reddit. So guys, if you do want more Reddit information, make sure you check out. There's 2 Reddits. There is reddit.com/FortniteBR and then just Fortnite. Okay. So Fortnite BR is obviously Battle Royale, and Fortnite is just the overall Fortnite mares. It's more of the PvE content, save the world stuff. Obviously, they have the Fortnite Battle Royale sub as well. So check out both those places. Lots of great content. And obviously, we love all you guys. Thanks so much, moderators and everybody over there. All the epic people responding all the time. You guys are amazing. So you guys can get some breaking news if you go check that out. Last but not least, we want to give you one tip for today, as always. Try to give you a tip as we leave. So let's go ahead and jump over there.
You ask, do we have tips? Of course. And do we have tricks? Oh, yes, we do. So listen up.
All right, so my tip and trick is something that actually came to me the other day, David, and we mentioned it. And it's going to sound really weird for a lot of people that play, but we all think about the storm as this thing that's going to kill you, this thing that's going to take you out, this thing you have to continually run away from, and it's your enemy. But I'm here to tell you today, ladies and gentlemen, that the storm can also be your friend. It can work for you and not against you.
Proven this in a match.
We have we have proven this multiple times actually. And I want you guys to think about this as you're playing through, and especially as you get down to the smaller circles. And this is really where it applies, where it kind of hit me, was letting the circle work for you. Is when you get down to these final, 3 or 4 circles after you've already had 2 or 3 circles, and you're getting down to a smaller area, 20 people left or so, and you get in and you're like, oh crap, I got guys to my right, I got guys to my left. I'm in a weird position. One thing that we always do, and this is kind of a bonus, we could use this as another one, but I'll go ahead and break it out there, is we move with the storm. But while we're moving with the storm, we're letting it work for us. We're letting it push out the people that it needs to push out from a certain angle. We're working it one direction. Say somebody has a fort there. There's no reason to always push those forts. Now, sometimes it's a really good idea to like push the fort, blow it up, whatever. Build up to it and shotgun them. Whatever your playability is, whatever you do, your play style, sometimes it works really well to do that. But in other times, you can let the storm push them out of that. Right? Let the storm move, and you move with it really slow, and see if they jump out. Maybe even before the storm gets to them, they're going to get to moving, and they don't see you back there by the wall. So let the storm work for you, especially in those areas. I mean, David, what do you have to say about it? I mean, we use this probably at least on a daily basis, 1 or 2 times when we get closer to final circle. Like I said with circle, if I could speak tonight, final circle. And we have 10 20 people left, somewhere in that realm, and we let it push one side of the map, or we run to the other side. It's not going to push as hard, and let it push those people out quicker.
Yeah. I mean, I think all the tips you gave there, some of the things that I would also mention is this is very situational when it comes to the storm. But we actually had a game the other day. It was ending by Dusty Depot. We were there. We're healing up. You ran to get under the depot, and there was a guy sitting in the corner. He kills you. So now it's me, and there's like 4 people left, 3 people left, and I kill the guy that killed you because he's right there by himself. And I go into final circle, and the guys are above me. The last two are above me on Dusty Depot. They hit a launch pad. They're coming over. I get a couple shots on one of them, and then they're both in my face. And I stepped into Storm, took a considerable amount of damage because it's real close to final circle, and I broke his line of sight. I broke it down, and I'd already downed one of his guys, I downed his buddy, I mean, and I broke his line of sight. And next thing you know, I come back through that wall, and I'm finishing the game. I'm winning because he's looking for me in circle. He sees me go into circle, and he's looking. Now, this, like I said, is incredibly situational. You don't want to run into that circle all the time. It does a crap ton of damage the closer, to final it is. But there are opportunities where you might say, ooh, hop in there real quick, break the line of sight, maybe give some misdirection, maybe change where they expect you to be because of, breaking that line of sight for a moment.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just enough time for you to get your thought process down to say, okay, here's what my plan of attack is. Sometimes it gives you just the couple of seconds you needed to kind of collect yourself and make your right decision.
The other thing is, as you get closer to the end of circles, and this has happened to us as well, you saw me do this, was we had built up, people were below us, circles closing in, there's 3 people left, and I actually jump on a tree, and these guys have no idea where I'm at, but I do the same thing. Mm-hmm. I actually jump out of the circle after I discover where they're at, and so they lose sight of me, they don't know where I am, and I jump into the storm for a second, just enough to fall down off the tree, which I was surprised I didn't die from. And walk in the circle and kill him. He had no idea I was coming right next to him, but I knew where he was positioned at. So there are those.
No idea. He was completely caught off guard.
Yeah. So there are those times. So let circle work for you. Think about opportunities. Shoot us some videos, guys. If you guys do it, you pull it off, and you let circle work for you in a good manner. And we're getting some videos up too. We're going to be putting these podcasts, for all of you that are wondering, we're going to be putting these podcasts on YouTube as well with some of our wins. We're capturing those every night to put up. We're just so busy lately that we haven't had a chance to do it, but we will catch up and get all these up there with some videos for you guys to be able to check out. So make sure you guys keep checking in. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you guys really enjoyed the show. Shoot us a review on iTunes if you would please. Leave us a comment on Podbean. You can find us on Podbean at FortnitePodcast.podbean.com. And, tell us how much you like us, tell how much that we suck, what we can do better.
We gave you 2 Fortnite podcasts in 1 week. Who does that? Who does that?
Nobody does that. So make sure you do that for us, guys. We really appreciate it. The reviews on iTunes help us gain some recognition to other players that are looking for Fortnite. So if they Google Fortnite, it'll put them up there for us. So please do that. You can follow us on Twitter at Fortnite Podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at TwoLoudTX, and you can follow Nolxero, aka David, at Nolxero, Nolxero. As always, guys, thank you so much, and until next time, dance out those kills and boast in those victory royales.